Hello everybody, my name is Alex Shannon. Welcome to Unofficial Commentary on Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. This week is episode 1, When Evil Stirs. Let's go ahead and get started. More stock music, that's a good way to open up a series. I want to bet this is stock music too. The narration seems pretty good, but the writing on the narration seems pretty good, but the delivery is off. And by delivery, I mean direction. Oh god, they're starting off this with a recap. God. If I'm overly critical this week, well, I don't mean overly. If I'm more critical than usual, it's because I've been watching a lot of Takuger and Kamen Rider Drive and especially Power Rangers Jungle Fury. So, wow, that is some terrible shading. Really, that is some award-winningly bad shading. I'm just gonna turn the volume up. What was even the point of those scenes? Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers. In a world full of strife, we must fight to survive. Try to break the chains that divide. There is only one chance to take the right stance. Hold tight, keep our power alive. Go, go, Power Rangers, don't you ever stop. Go, go, Power Rangers, you will rise up to the top. Rangers forever, Dino Charge, all together. Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Dino Charge. Crashed weeks ago. I did too. I also got a shot of carnival mode in the opening. Where did Snide come from, anyways? That's Heckle's symbol on the side of his head, isn't it? Ah, there we go. That explains it. Also, finally we're gonna get a human villain. Oh, hey, it's, Talon Ranger. Go and find him. He's probably not dead. There weren't any pieces of the other guys the Rangers destroyed. So this guy is Frieza. This guy is literally Frieza. Good point there, Wrench. That is the oldest trick in the book, and it's still not funny. Then why did you say imagine that? Then why didn't you keep the staff you had before? Oh, good lord. What's up with that blue fringe in his hair, anyways? The quirky music ruins this scene. I mean, I'm going to pause this for a second, and it's like, okay, if this was Death Note, they would have had a really creepy music cue playing in the background. Because that befits this scene. If this were Drive, that's what they would have done. But they've got to have these quirky, stupid little upbeat tracks in the background. I mean, Nick doesn't even... Nick and Saban, whatever. Whoever's in charge of finances, they don't even spring for a completely original soundtrack. They use so much stock music. It's incredibly, disgustingly noticeable. And they just ruin the most dramatic of moments. Or what should be the most dramatic of moments if they weren't using these dumbass sound clips in the background. Okay, we're at the 7:16 mark. I'm going to play it now. Pausing it again at the 7:26 mark. Another thing that Death Note taught us that everybody should learn from is that inner monologues exist. Have a little bit of an echo. Give it a little bit of reverb, huh? Don't have the characters just speaking their every thought aloud. If they're thinking, give it a little bit of a reverb effect, and have them keep their mouths shut. Okay, we're playing it now. Pausing it again, and at 7:33, I just came up with something else I need to say. Any other Ranger team would have made some sort of follow-up. They would have gone to Ground Zero where the ship crashed and exterminated every single one of those monsters. They would have had all of them dead. They probably would have repurposed the ships for their own use. I mean, RPM taught us that Rangers always... The Whale Zord was built from a super weapon made by Venjix. Who's to say that they couldn't do that with Sledge's ship? Who's to say that they couldn't benefit from that technology? I mean, a supersized beam, something that brings people back to life. I mean, my God. A beam that brings people back to life, it makes death absolutely useless. I mean, obviously, Sledge has it, otherwise they wouldn't be bringing back the old monsters. Ever think that maybe you could use that on one of the few fallen Rangers? Because there are plenty. Not a whole lot, but enough. And, you know, once a Ranger, right? That was the point of that episode. Once a Ranger, forever a Ranger. That's the whole point of Super Mega Force. Maybe that resurrection beam could bring Troy his personality back to life. Not that he had one to begin with. Playing it now. Dude, less squeak in your voice. More demented growling. Wow, her mother must be really white. Yeah, they're fairly common. Yeah, I have one. Trilobite fossils are so common, and I mean, you can literally find them all over the place. Why are you getting so excited? Pretty much, you'd think that everybody would have one at this point. And this is why people take their Ranger powers with them. That's why Adam kept the Black Ranger morpher. That kind of jump should have broken your legs, or the board at least. What do you think, moron? Yeah, like this guy who was wanting... He's literally singing One Direction right now, isn't he? Christ. Okay. Their version of One Direction, the NZ Boys. Technically, wouldn't that be the Otara Millionaires Club? Yeah, be on your freaking guard, idiot. Strange things happen, be on your guard. Time to get Energems, time to morph, grab the Zords, find them. Thank you for finally talking sensibly. You used to be the smart one. Grab the Energems. Pausing. Whatever happened to the Rangers that took their powers with them when they were, Oh, hang on. I was watching a little bit of Kyoryuger, and I noticed that the Kyoryugers have, guess what? Holsters for their guns. Guess what these guys don't have? I mean, these guys could have the chargers on them, and since technically they can summon they seem to be able to summon their weapons and whatnot from literal thin air. That might not be an issue for them, but excuse me. What happened to the Rangers that took their powers with them after retirement? What happened to the Rangers that never actually retired? They were always there in the background doing stuff. I mean, honestly, it's not a smart thing to do this. The only times that Rangers haven't taken their powers with them is when they get fried. It's like RPM. The Morphers were literally fried by the final battle. And Dr. K had to repair them. And, and back in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the old Dino powers were destroyed, but the Morphers still worked, so they used new conduits for the same power. Technically, it's slightly different power, but it's still, you get what I mean. So what's up with these morons not taking their gear with them when they're potentially going on a rescue mission? I mean, some of these guys have... Some of the Rangers have morphers that are incredibly bulky or whatever. Like Jungle Fury White. His morpher was huge, so you can kind of see why he wouldn't want to maybe take that with him. But, he was a nomad. He wandered around doing stuff. So he just stuck that in his backpack, along with all of his other gear. And, if at the end of RPM the morphers hadn't been fried, they could have literally just stuck them into their holsters where they kept them. It's like these guys appear to be able to summon their morphers out of thin air, and the little batteries, the chargers, can fit in your pocket. So why the hell don't they just keep them with them? Might be useful. I mean, with great power comes great responsibility, and these guys are literally the Power Rangers. They're a superhero team with power in the very beginning of their name. And I know what I would do with it if I had superpowers like that and I'd taken care of all of the interstellar threats. I'd start fighting street crime. Like what's his name? The original Purple Ranger, not the original RJ. Whoever the New Zealand guy who looked like Snake was. Him. Albert. Yeah, that was his name. He was fighting street level crime. He was rescuing people, doing actually useful things, even though there wasn't, there weren't supervillains around, so he just fought crime. That's what these guys should be doing. But anyways, we're at the 10:27 mark, so we're going to be resuming now. Which makes it even stupider for them to not have their gear with them. Now, Coda's actually handling this properly. Gee, you think so? Also, terrible freaking effects there. Yeah, we wish we could forget you. Oh, somebody who seems to have retained their powers. Wow, they're obviously not frozen there. You could have literally just moved out of the way, buddy. Now, you see, this is not how the other guys were frozen. Because they didn't have frost on their arms. Or you could deal with him now while he's in range. Oh, thank you. Coda's being the sensible one. Let's see, what's the last ranger left? That would be Philip. Get your energem. Get your goddamn energem. How do you know his name? I actually can't remember if they said his name or whatever. Get gear, morph, find them. So finally, oh god, I could have gone my entire life without seeing that cat again. Okay, then that makes it even less sense as to why. Would have been real friggin' nice if we saw this last season. That's not how melting works, too. Finally, some actual emotional turmoil. Oh, hello, Keeper. Useless as always. Okay, so you can survive being frozen alive, but not anything else that would kill you. Or you could just lead a friggin' strike team. You've got 3 people. The Jungle Fury was only 3 people. RPM started out as 3 people. Where did the morphers go? That's nice. Wipe there. Well, that iPhone's gonna be dead. Straight out of Compton. Crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. Wait a minute, what the hell? That doesn't make any sense. You. There is no way that works properly. There is no way that would work as you intended. I've worn paintball gear, and paintball gear that's reasonably hard to get out of, and those suits are definitely harder to get out of. Three purple shaded windows. Notice that Kyoryuger had exactly the same morphing sequence. So I don't even know if they maybe just added that on top, their heads on top of the Kyoryugers or not. Rare to be going toe-to-toe with the main villain of the season this early. At least somebody is using their bayonet properly. This is literally the worst possible time. Oh, so this is a morphed transformation, huh? Yeah, we know that. Okay, finally somebody's dual wielding. Why doesn't she have Dino steel on? Oh god, stock shot. The Dino Spike is easily the worst of the combined weapons. This guy actually seems intimidating when he says that. It wouldn't if you'd taken their friggin' ship. It still sounds incredibly wrong the way he says plesio charge Megazord.
I'm sorry, that's a tactic we learned in HR. There are no other candidates.
Oh, wonderful. That was an incredibly witty comeback. You're fighting 3 enemy, whatever you call them. Why don't you guys... Okay, thank you.
That's sweet. Does this love have a name?
I mostly call her Mituka, and I'm still learning other ways to say sweetheart in Hebrew.
Now is the time when you would want to, pull out all the Megazords.
Now I need to get back to my office. It was really nice to meet you both.
Thank you.
More stock finishing moves. Why you gotta be so frickin' punny?
Be in touch soon.
Wanna go back and take another take there, director? Thank you, Kendall. You're just as devoid of personality as ever.
Or maybe he actually has a girlfriend.
Everyone he works with thinks he's single. Diamonds have never seen or heard of one.
Oh, thank you. Where the hell were you when all this was going down?
To dead drop his tech. A whole team of Mossad operatives is following him.
Yeah, Rangers are always needed.
He's using a method of transferring information that we've never seen before.
A method Mossad hasn't seen.
He's a rocket scientist.
He's a kid in a man's suit. He's not a villain.
Obviously, you made a connection that he can't be objective.
Pause. Oh, wait, never mind. Okay, question. Why the hell didn't they just stick around until they were done finding all the energems? Question 2. Why the hell didn't the team just stick around anyways? There is always a need for Rangers. We wouldn't have 20 teams otherwise. 20 teams, various power-ups, an entire alternate universe where the world ended, basically. Well, now that's a bit harsh. Neo Saban Power Rangers aren't that bad. Oh! So, this was a pretty bad episode. But again, what do you expect? It's Neo Saban. I do like Heckle. I like Snide. They've got some good potential, but then again, so did Dino Charge. And they're just not... They're not living up to the standards... Excuse me. Standards of much better shows that have come before and contemporary with them. I mean, I wouldn't exactly say that Ninja is better than this. I mean, it's about as devoid of personality as this is. Maybe more so. I'm just hoping that Zyuohger is better. Because I saw the latest promos for it, and Zyuohger looks pretty freaking good. Looks unique. It looks almost like SPD. But yeah, this has been Unofficial Commentary on Power Rangers Dino Supercharge. Episode 1. When Evil Stirs. Jesus. I'll see you guys next week with the next episode of this. Good lord. I just hope this season is better. I mean, the new action figures look really good. I'd love to get some, but I got better things to spend my money on, so... Yeah, I'll see you guys next week.